start? I don't want to waste your breath.
Thank you. We thought we'd try watching one back and talking about it as we watch it.
Yeah,
We
just
don't
something
know.
different.
Is that gonna work?
This is we're about to find out together.
Yep.
Guys, it's great to see you.
It's great to see you.
It's always great to get together and see you guys for the podcast.
Yeah, we are in our new studio once again.
And we're gonna watch this next. Now, this next episode isn't necessarily a special one that deserves this, but we just got.
In fact, I have very little memory of this episode at all.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think we
that's
just
fun.
got a little. We get bored and we like trying different things. We never just do the same thing.
Based on the title, Frank said "Sweet Dee on Fire." I remember him throwing a match down the well and lighting her on fire. I remember us doing the camera, the news.
Do you want to
anchor
know, or do you want to be
person too.
surprised as you go?
Well, maybe I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
I this one
Because
is a big blank
watched
space.
it already.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Because I thought that's what we were doing. But we're
Oh,
doing
okay.
this instead.
Okay, great. So you're seeing it for the second time in 2 days. We're seeing it for the first time in 10 years.
No, because I did a whole rewatch like maybe a year ago,
Oh, okay.
like before we did the podcast.
So
You guys are narcissists.
You
No,
have
sorry.
the freshest eyes.
no, I did.
I did what I thought we were going to do was watch it ahead of time.
I did
Even
a
though we
rewatch
discussed
of
on the
this-
text that we
No,
weren't
no, no.
going to.
I'm a hard worker.
I do not. After if I'm in a group text,
I know that about you.
just don't text me. If you want my attention, you just have to individually text me because I cannot stand a group text.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I definitely.
I'm
I
good
didn't
for
know
like
you.
3.
You don't like group texts?
No. Do you like 5 people talking at you at once?
But it's not that. It's
one person talking at
one
once.
yeah. I turned the ringer off though because I
together.
can't stand the bling bling bling
Yeah,
bling
that's
bling
why.
bling bling.
The,
Too much.
the moon.
I'd like to get rid of my phone. I'd actually like to not have a phone anymore. I kind of want to get off social media
Yeah,
and not have a phone. But I don't think I can get away with that.
it's tough.
That because I do like being able to look something up or check the weather
Yeah, that's
or
a tough.
listen or
move.
music. I like music options.
Yeah,
No, I like all of it. That's the problem. That's why I want to get
You
rid
like
of
the
it.
upsides. You don't like the downsides.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go back to defending myself of why I did a rewatch.
Oh, because it's all about you. Sorry, go ahead.
You hit a nerve.
Well, it's mostly about me. No, I did a rewatch in anticipation of writing season 15 of the show. I took 2
Attaboy.
years off the writer's room.
Boy, see, that's professional, Rob.
And as a professional, I was like, you know what? I want to make sure that we're not doing more of the things where we, accidentally write something in that's not consistent with the lore of the show, and then we ended up doing the skating episode anyway. All right.
I'm with you. All right, let's try this fucking rewatch idea.
Already, it says TVMA, language and violence.
Violence.
I mean,
Violence
for
and
fuck's
fuck
sake.
you. This is so stupid.
Language and violence. Just play stuff and people want to watch it.
Just palling around with the guys. How's anybody gonna get hurt?
Classic.
All right, let's pause it.
All right, let's pause it.
Let's pause
Okay, so we just watched the cold open, and let's talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk more about how Charlie hates this. He just hates it
I don't hate it.
because we don't know what's going to happen. We have
doesn't
we have
trust that it's
hundreds
gonna
and
work.
hundreds of these podcast episodes. We're just trying shit.
He just doesn't trust that it's going to work.
I'm
right?
not convinced that it's going to work, but I don't know
What's
that
the
it's
worst
not gonna
case
work.
scenario?
That's good. That's a good question. Worst case scenario is that it's kind of boring, and we have to redo it. No,
Because we're going to talk about the
yeah.
episode anyway, and we can jump ahead.
this cold open.
Yeah.
Oh, that's some funny shit in there.
I thought it was pretty funny. A lot of us justifying what we're about to do and why we're about to do it.
Yeah, a little heavier hand than we would maybe use now, but it plays. The news thing is funny, like just a little clip. News soccer.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's
fast
infused
walking.
with something that I feel like I used to feel about like the actual news and reading the news, but don't and haven't for a long time. But like this whole idea of like, yeah, like okay, so they're smuggling like fucking shit into plutonium into Syria, like. Great. The fuck does that have to do with me? You know what I mean? Like that, just a complete like. lack of understanding of the how the world works and
I think
how
there's a
everything
lot-
is
The
symbiotic.
butterfly effect of
Yeah.
a nation such as Syria having access to nuclear
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of people who probably watch that clip and are like, "Fuck yeah, I'm with you." Like, I don't. What do
Totally.
what do I care when something happens outside of
Yeah.
where I live? And then there are the people who like maybe get the satire more of that, which is like, well, shit that happens outside of where you live can still affect where you live. But
Right.
that's the show.
But those are the same people that want to know what Paris Hilton wore last night. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's true.
I'm going, by the way, I mean back in 2007, not now.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody cares what she's wearing now. Or maybe they do. I don't know.
This episode is very dated in that regard because there are Paris Hilton references and there is basic cable references, which is like no, not local access.
local news.
Local, yeah.
No, there's still
Public
local news.
access.
Public access.
Oh, public
access. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Which is that's not still a thing, is it?
Public access?
Sure.
How do you get it? How would you get it now? Wait, well, on cable.
Yeah, on cable.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, should we keep going?
Charlie's on something. Charlie's on something. What happened here?
He's on coffee.
Was it? It was the coffee, right? Is it agitation?
I've been on different time zones.
Yeah, you've been on some different
I
time
was
zones lately?
in I was in the Texas time zone, and now I'm in the
What's that,
California
an hour
time.
to
2 hour difference.
2 hours. Yeah, that's enough to. Yeah.
It threw me a little bit. I've watched this episode already, and I don't want to have to watch it again.
Yeah.
That's part of it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. See that. What else?
What else is Coffee.
There's some coffee.
Coffee,
in it.
I added
Have you eaten today?
I didn't have a proper meal. I've kind of picked at some things. That's part of it. And then it's my
haven't
spidey
eaten.
sense of like that this isn't the best way to do one of these episodes. Very creatively passionate.
Has your spidey sense ever been wrong?
No.
Never.
No. I mean, occasionally I let you guys.
Think that
Think
you've
that-
wrong.
Yeah, think
Think that you were on the other
Yeah,
side of
'cause
the
otherwise
argument.
I'd be unbearable. But no, I'm usually fucking right. Let's continue with this. Oh, we're gonna watch the whole. Should we talk about the
Don't
credits?
skip the intro. Don't skip the intro.
Okay. Here we
Okay.
are. We're going through Philly. You guys ever heard this one? There we go. Executive producers. And there we go.
I like our title sequence.
It's at the train station and the Dairy Queen and created by Rob. There you go.
I do enjoy that it's called It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and the entire title sequence is shot at night.
Night.
I know, yeah, that's good.
Nobody watches that shit.
Dude, there's all sorts of great stuff on public access. Bro.
Oh, is there? Well, let's see what kind of
Oh, is this
quality
dancing guy?
programming we
Dancing
have
guy.
here.
Oh wow.
Yeah. This guy's pretty great. So to hire this guy, we just picked an extra and we said, show us your dance moves.
No, I think we had people audition. Didn't we?
we might have had
We
people
had a
audition for
guy.
this.
We had a guy in mind. There was a guy on Venice Beach. I still think he's there.
Oh.
Who
dances.
had the little silver ball.
Yes,
and he would
that
just
guy.
be in
That
this,
guy,
like,
and he
tight,
always
tight,
wears
short
and he
shorts.
basically dresses exactly like this.
Yes, and
was
he's
kind
super
of a,
tan.
Yep, and kind of like a bodybuilder-ish
Yeah.
type
Oh, totally.
guy.
No, he was totally.
Yeah,
he was like
and
jacked.
we brought him in. I remember when Wendy was like, our casting director was like, no, you can't. It's not going to work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's not
not
well.
going to be.
He's not. He's unwell.
He's unwell.
Yeah,
I
he's
remember
unwell.
that.
So-
Either
I
that
remember
or-
that as well.
You always wonder about the guys like that, though. You're like, is he unwell or are we unwell? Because think about that guy's life.
He's unwell.
He fucking think about his life. He works out.
I'm
you know
thinking
what I
about
mean?
his life.
He's
He's fucking dancing in his underwear with a silver ball for fucking loose change in the streets.
He wasn't.
I don't think he is.
He wasn't asking for money.
No, he
He may have been
worse.
independently wealthy.
That's
we don't know.
worse.
He was never
You guys
asking
were
for
dead wrong. This is a fucking great idea, and I told you as much.
No, he always looked happy as shit. He always had headphones on. He was always fucking jamming to
Yes.
music and like dancing and playing with the silver balls and fucking hanging
Bro,
out at the beach all day.
You
all
got
fucking
you gotta
tan
look
and shit.
happier. They don't tip, man. You gotta look happier. They
I don't think
tip.
he ever. I don't ever remember there being a hat or anything.
Never.
He was.
Never.
I think he was just experiencing life.
That's what I'm saying. I think he was happy as hell.
Yeah.
Just one of those
God
people
bless
just
him.
floating on a cloud all day fucking long. Great. Good for you.
Well,
Anyway,
right.
we had to hire. This
Well,
guy.
yeah,
He was
but,
great.
But then I
Perfect.
think that guy. I remember that guy came in, right?
Yeah.
And you saw his tape, and there was something upsetting about it. We were like, oh, this is kind of dark. There's
Yes.
a darkness. Whereas this guy,
There's
it
a
was very
darkness.
like, there's a darkness too, but it's an enjoyable darkness.
No, I love this TV.
I do
that
enjoy
we're
the
looking
fact that he's wearing
He's got
tight
s-
underwear and cowboy boots.
He's got a serious farmer's tan as well.
And we gave him little to
does,
no
yeah.
direction. You know, I think
No, this
these
was his
moves
thing.
these were his moves. He came in with them.
Yep.
And,
Came in with him.
Let's
Yeah.
let's watch a little
Let's
more.
watch more of his.
Hey, get a couple upskirts, a couple nip slips, boom, you'd be famous like that.
Well, yeah, I think I'd like to avoid the nip slips and upskirts, but I think I see where you're going with
I'll
this.
talk you into it at some point, and I could be famous just by being friends with you.
Absolutely.
Great, good luck with that.
This was before the Kardashian thing really caught on. So
This
we're-
was back
we're-
when
we're
Kim
talking-
Kardashian was just one of Paris Hilton's friends.
Yeah,
Are they
And-
friends? Was that where
They
did she
were. I
pop
don't know if
off
they
of that?
I don't know.
Was she a
but-
spin-off of the?
She was a spin-off of
the
Paris
Paris
Hilton.
Hilton.
Yeah.
But
I
what
Phenomenon.
I mean, it's all phenomena. I mean, think about, like, it used to be sort of like you could make the joke, like, oh, this person's famous for doing nothing. But then, like, you know, joke's on you, man, because they
That's
have
right.
taken that to the stratosphere.
They sure have.
Yeah.
Anyway, God
it-
bless
Yeah, it's
them.
like it's like the
Good on
progression
them.
of.
But
Good on them.
they are industrialists, are they not?
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they've created an entire business out of it, but I still find it disgusting.
Oh,
Oh,
why? Why?
sure.
I don't like it.
There is something
Why?
annoying about being famous without having a thing. Like, do a thing,
Yeah.
man. Like, you know.
But
like,
they don't. But
Now,
they're
now
doing
some
it.
They
now,
are
now
doing
some
it.
of
They
them
figured out
become
a thing. They figured out a
some of them
thing.
what they do first is they become famous and then they do the thing.
Yeah.
Right? They
Yeah.
become famous for it's like it's interesting. It's
Sure.
like a total inversion, right? Some people do the thing and they become famous for doing whatever the thing is. And then these guys were just like, well, why don't I just be famous first? And then when I do the thing, it'll be way more successful because I'm already famous.
Yeah,
it's actually
by
that's
the
why
way,
it's
it
brilliant.
was
less
pretty
valid
brilliant.
than-
You got to
yeah.
give him credit. It's like, we'll just film ourselves being us, which basically is what
That's what we're doing right now.
And it worked. They became, you know, all we talked about or cared about.
Yeah, to be clear, I don't have a problem with the whole idea of becoming famous in order to create a product that then is successful because you're using your fame to do the thing. But like what I found disgusting initially when the whole like I guess it was before even that term existed, probably that an influencer, right? Like the whole Paris Hilton thing of just like being famous for literally doing nothing, just showing up places and
Being a socialite.
being a socialite, you know, like I just personally, but you know what, that's also I think, you know, that's just a personal thing. I don't like that. I just don't like it.
I think it turns a
feels
lot of people off. I
vapid
don't think you're
and-
alone in that. I think it was, you know, I think we got forced into it in a way. Like, it broke us down. Where eventually just became a part of our
Yeah.
society or dominated our conversations.
Well,
But, like,
we're much more used to it now. But I
We're
mean,
more
back
used to it
then,
now.
that whole thing was just completely
we're like,
bizarre to
yeah,
me. I
do
didn't
a
understand
thing,
it.
you know, just,
Yeah.
you know, don't just do a booty. Don't just have it be your
Don't just be a
booty.
butt.
Don't just be a butt.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Look at that.
Good afternoon, Philadelphia. This is Matt coming to you live from the Malvern Retirement Home.
Cool face. Hold it.
Hello, miss. What's your name?
Irvine Simon,
Is there anything that
great.
you want to tell the world, Irving?
my grandson's birthday on Friday.
No. Is there anything about this place that you don't like?
The blacks.
Okay. All
All right, we got it.
That is
That's so fucking funny.
that's a good scene. That
That
actor is
so funny.
amazing.
That-
She's amazing.
amazing.
Saying like
Would
this
we
episode
still
is
make that
crazy.
joke? Would
Yes.
we would, right?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Just,
it's-
she's an old racist lady.
An old racist lady,
and
that
Nursing
exists.
homes are full of them.
Yes.
Absolutely. Chock full.
And elder abuse is something that is still happening and going on, and maybe we wouldn't use the term ass rape. Maybe we would. I don't know.
You know,
I think
and
we would. I think we would, because what the joke is that Danny is just saying that loudly in the room.
Yes.
And we're like, what? Shut up. What
Yeah,
are you
don't,
doing?
yeah.
You know? I love that we just walk up to someone and start filming them too, which is pretty great.
Okay. All
And
right.
then-
This works.
yeah,
this
this
works so
scene
far.
was very
This
funny.
works. This
Cool
works
Now,
so
you think
far.
I added the cool faces? Hold it in
That was in
post?
post.
I think that was in post.
I do remember that was in post.
Because
and
you probably weren't. You were probably behind the monitors at this point. You're not actually holding the camera.
Yeah.
I think someone
That's
else
a good
is holding
point.
it.
I think you're right,
That's
yeah.
a good point.
yeah, and I think we were watching it and we saw some little beats, some
Yeah,
pauses. and we
needed a
thought,
little
needed a little zhuzhing.
Zhuzh.
Yeah.
Cool face, hold it.
Cool face. Hold it.
All right,
All right,
these
here we go.
bozos. Here we go. we figure, let's get out of the sleepy nursing homes. Let's go to a place where we could run into something cool.
Yeah.
And Chinatown, we think, has lots of mysteries. So let's go check it out.
Is what's coming up? Fish being traded for fish. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
What the hell are these guys doing?
They're just trading fish for other fish, is what it looks like.
They're even bickering. This isn't gonna lead to karate.
No, I think what we gotta do is find one sick guy and do a story about a new pandemic. No one cares about those pandemics.
Well, we predicted pandemics.
Wow.
We predicted pandemics.
Wow.
A wet market.
We just predicted
Is that what they call them? Wet markets?
AIDS.
Yeah.
A wet market.
Yeah, we're in
And
a wet market
where
in
we
Chinatown.
predicted that there was going to be another pandemic, and you guys were going to report on it before it.
Yeah. We called it.
Wow,
Do you think
guys,
we
we
manifested
called
it somehow?
It took a long time to manifest.
Yeah, well,
Viruses usually move a
Cook
little
that
bit
up.
faster than that.
Okay.
all right, let's just keep it going.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. That I remember distinctly.
What?
They passed the same fish back and forth.
Yes, that was not in the
That's
script,
just the
but
same
Charlie was
fish.
saying that
Yeah.
was the same
That's
fish.
because we had hired some extras. And
Yeah, and they didn't know what they were doing.
they were given very minimal direction.
Yeah.
And
These were all guys that lived on the street.
yeah, they lived
On this street.
In that street.
We just grabbed them and we were
Yes.
like, hey, you guys mind passing fish back and forth?
Yeah. Well, we didn't do it, but somebody did
And
on our
then-
behalf and paid him 50
'Cause this-
bucks a pop.
And then we were just improv because we noticed they were just passing the same fish back and
Yes.
forth, and we thought
Yes.
it'd be funny to comment on
Yes.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
Here
yeah.
in Chinatown, where a large crowd has gathered for what can only be a martial arts showdown.
You look scared.
I'm sorry. I'm not just sweating. It's very, very hot.
Martial arts.
Okay, martial arts expo. Just go in.
So we're hoping for
tennis.
some martial arts because we're racist.
Yes.
And what they're doing is they're playing
They're playing Wii
Video
tennis.
games.
Wii tennis. Yeah.
Which we also predicted. People watching other people play video games.
Sure.
So you heard it here, guys. We've predicted almost every major event of the last 15 years.
That's right. And then this is what happens.
About a pandemic.
Bird flu. Bird flu.
I think he's choking, guys.
What?
Choking.
He is choking. Frank, give him the Heimlich.
I'm not gonna touch him. I don't know what he's
Frank,
got.
you know the Heimlich? I don't know. I'm gonna punch him in the stomach or something, dude. Okay.
Oh, God.
Oh, baby!
You okay?
I saved your life, bitch.
Call him a bitch.
Call him a bitch.
I saved your life,
That guy did a
bitch.
really good
He
job
did a great
choking,
job.
by
I
the way.
think he was.
Remember that
I think he was
on
a stunt
the
guy.
day. He
Oh,
was a
really?
stunt
He was a
guy,
stunt
that's
guy,
what
yeah,
it
'cause
was.
of
Yeah, because that guy
punching him.
fucking nailed it.
Because he had to
Like,
get punched.
And he spit the fucking thing
Yeah.
out.
He
Like,
spit the hell out
yeah, it
of
was a
that
good
thing.
trajectory on that thing.
A weird choice to point at someone's face and say,
Yeah.
I saved your life, bitch.
Yes, and I would like
I
to
like that-
get
I like
back
that,
to
though.
that guy, because that's funny to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Calling
Yeah,
people
yeah.
bitches is funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can work on that.
Yeah.
Something that I don't know why we decided to do this, but we always kind of stuck with our characters being a little bit behind on technology.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like a better
The old TV.
better cameras existed.
Yeah.
No one was using VHS at this time, but
Correct.
but our characters were still using their old.
Yeah, we had the old TV,
Yeah.
we had the old VHS,
Old
we had
TV,
the
old
old
VHS.
There's an old flashlight on top of it.
Yeah.
An old flashlight. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funnier.
Hey, you guys remember last week when Athletic Greens decided to pay us a bunch of money to promote their green powder? You guys remember that?
Absolutely.
Green
yeah.
for green.
Yeah.
Well, I got some great news, guys. Athletic Greens has agreed to advertise with us again. I
They've
don't know
come
why.
back.
They've come back.
All green for green.
All
And I'm
right.
here to tell you right now that we are endorsed by Athletic Greens. It's a great drink. Rob, you're having some right now.
I have been. I was a little bit wary at first. I'll be honest with you because I've seen you drinking this in the past.
Yes.
And I was like, ugh.
If Glenn drinks it, you don't trust it.
Exactly.
But
If Glenn
turns
drinks it, I
out it's
don't-
actually good.
I don't trust it, and
Yeah.
it is actually good.
You know, it's good. You get the fast recovery, you get the mental clarity and the alertness. You know, I could use that.
Yeah, totally. And it's like the best kind of multivitamin that you can get. And with this, you're choosing ingredients that your body can actually absorb. You got to be able to absorb it for your body to use it.
Plus, I got to say, it doesn't hurt that it's endorsed by Tim Ferriss and Michael Gervais, who's an athlete.
Now, the scientist in me likes that they're constantly adjusting the recipe based on science. You know, you got to try this stuff out for yourself. But you can't just take my word for it.
No.
Yeah.
And to
yeah.
make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/sunny.
Well, tell them where they got to go.
Well, where they have to go is athleticgreens.com/sunny to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Here, take this.
What is this?
You'll see.
That is good glow stick dancing,
Yeah.
man. Now, what was that song? Like, we just won in our library.
It sounds like Go For It, but it's not. But it's in the same.
D-I-S-C-O. It's
Yeah.
playing. Yeah, some cheap song that we were able to afford. Like, because they'd never be playing this music. In a
No,
club.
no. This is what we can
They
afford.
would be playing something that some people think sounds better, but doesn't.
Now, I don't recall where this location was, where this club was.
Oh God.
Somewhere near, I think, our stages, maybe.
I
On
think
the
it
west
was
side
actually
there?
in West Hollywood.
West Hollywood.
I think it was in. I think it was a West Hollywood location. I'm not totally sure.
I've never left a club with the sun up.
Oh,
I don't think I ever have.
I have many times.
I
It's
I
the
hated
worst.
clubs.
It's
Yeah, I
the
didn't really go to
worst.
clubs.
Well, I worked in one, so I would leave. At
You worked at a
5
club?
Yeah, Upper West Side venue was what it was called, and I would leave. You'd leave at 5:30 in the morning.
Ugh,
That's the worst.
Yikes.
God, what
No,
were you
thank you.
bartender, bar
Bar back.
backing? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
never.
a couple of
You didn't
times.
just wipe down the loads.
There were a couple of nights where I was one of the customers at some club in New York, and I was there till 5, 6 in the morning, and that is the worst feeling in the world walking out of that
Yeah,
place.
I could not
Gross.
stand clubs, and hadn't. Back in the day when the people around me and my friends were like wanting to go to clubs and stuff, I hadn't quite figured out yet that like, oh, the reason people are enjoying this is because they're on drugs.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
what's keeping
So
you
I
up
would
till
go
5
and I
a.m.
would drink and I would try to talk to people,
Forget.
but you can't talk in a club.
No, yeah.
And I didn't want to dance because I hated dancing in clubs. So then I'd just be standing around fucking just being like, what do I do? I don't know what to do in this place. I can't have a conversation with anybody. I'm not on drugs. Like,
No, the point of it was to take the drugs,
I know.
to go dance, and then find a partner to leave with.
see, I know that now, but I don't know. I wasn't hanging around with enough people that were people that were.
I
Just,
wasn't as successful as I would have liked to have been,
Yeah, yeah.
so I stopped. Stopped doing that.
I didn't even try. I was like, fuck
I've
it.
done
It's not
ecstasy a
gonna
few
work for
times
me.
though, and it's
fun.
It's great.
I don't even think that exists anymore. The kids do something else. Molly. I've never
Molly.
done Molly because
Same
my
thing.
time's passed.
It's basically the same thing. I mean, it's like pure MDMA as opposed
Oh.
to ecstasy, which is a mix of MDMA and other fucking chemicals.
Now there's fentanyl and everything. So there's
Yeah,
no-
let's not.
it's
Let's
like, you
let's
know.
stay away from that, kids.
That's not a good club
Kids and
drug.
adults. Let's go ahead and stay
It's
away
a real
from
bummer.
powders.
Why they
Well,
stop putting that in everything, man?
It's
That's
not.
like-
It's not that simple though. Some people are getting like dosed. They think they're getting something else, and they're getting dosed with fentanyl. It's really.
It's no good, man.
It's really
Yeah,
awful.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's just stay away from all of it.
Don't do
Yeah.
drugs, kids. All
Yeah.
right.
All right,
On
don't
with
do
the show.
drugs. Don't do drugs.
Why you take my picture now?
Work, okay? You're not famous yet. You're just some stupid drunk chick who slept in her own puke. Well, I'll come back tonight. Let's go. Come on, Rise, leave.
Okay.
Now this was not too long after she had hurt her foot, broke her foot or something, right?
This season, she broke.
I think she had just come out of the boot.
She broke her back in season 3. Yeah.
This is season 3.
Yep. So
Did
that
she
would have
also
been
break her foot?
She also broke,
She
her,
also
foot
broke her foot.
in season 3. Yeah. She broke both her foot
Yeah.
and
So
her back.
as I recall, she was able to slip out of the boot just long enough to shoot these scenes, but like you notice,
yeah.
she barely walks in this season.
Oh.
So we've got her standing in the line.
Right.
And then we've got her just lying down, and then we have her
Right.
getting up, but we don't
She
ever see her
flopped
walking.
into that trash, though.
That's because she's a pro.
Maniac.
And then she comes out of a building on
dances.
fire and stuff. Well, I am noticing that something that I feel like we haven't been doing is we're sticking with characters for a couple beats instead of just popping back and forth from one to the other, one to the other. Like, we were in our storyline for a couple more beats than I feel like we would have been, and now we were in theirs for multiple. I don't know.
Might have been a
sometimes
time
we do it.
passing thing,
Yeah,
too. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know either.
All right.
Hey, who's
Curb
that
baby.
sexy news guy? It's Mac. Yes, it's Mac. And he's on the channel, whatever we make it on news. Right? We're gonna make it on the TV. All right, here it is. You go into the
I
building.
think. Did you make that song?
Yes,
you made that
definitely.
up.
Oh, for sure.
On the
Definitely.
spot,
For
right?
sure.
You made
For
that
sure.
up.
That
For
was like
sure.
one of those. Sometimes we start doing a scene and we're like, yeah, it needs something else,
Yeah.
and we.
For sure.
I feel like
something
you can
funny.
see Rob laughing, but like trying to make it look like he's wincing
Yeah.
from the
That's-
massage.
That's
for
accurate.
sure.
That's accurate.
Not believe you guys. I could have been killed.
Well, somebody had to save those kittens.
Yeah, they were trapped inside a burning building, Deandra.
Set me on fire.
We set the building on fire. You just happened to catch on fire.
Barely. Yeah, we put you out.
That's right.
Barely. This is one of the first times we did something a little special effects heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I
How
don't know
so
that
we-
we'd ever done anything quite that special effects heavy before, because obviously she was not on fire.
How did we do? We just CGI'd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just
flames,
CGI'd
which
it.
was fine
Yeah.
because we were so far away
Yeah.
from the character
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it worked.
Hey, what if we set up like a conveyor belt situation, right? Put the cats on that, and at the end of it, a chopping mechanism.
Oh yeah, let's chop cats.
No,
I mean, that's me
that's you
laughing.
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 Yeah, just straight up laughing.
Just straight up laughing.
yeah, like, wait, no. Yeah.
Because that was not scripted.
No, let's chop cats.
Can we watch that? Can you just skip back 15 seconds and let's just rewatch that?
Let's chop cats.
And we kept it in.
a conveyor belt.
Yeah, 'cause
situation, right?
it's okay for your character to laugh at me.
A chopping mechanism.
Oh yeah, let's chop cats.
No,
Let's chop cats.
no, we don't actually chop the cats.
The things that aren't working for me just like are like a couple logic things like, well, why wouldn't Dennis want to be the famous one?
Right.
And like her being maybe just like, I think I'm gonna be famous just by being in a club. Like just a couple, like a lot is working, but there's like some logic things that I feel like, I don't know, just aren't as good as or as thought out as they could be. I do like the episode. There's lots of big laughs in it, so I'm not shitting on the episode. I'm just saying that's where I don't.
Not our best.
Yeah, versus the episode before the gang sells out, I felt like everything was maybe a more believable motivation for the characters.
Yep.
That's it. That's all. That's the only difference. Then what are your outfits in these episodes?
What?
Your outfits in these episodes.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
I think that was like
Like that was
was
like
the look.
cool. That was like
Yeah,
the cool
like the-
That was the
club,
club look, yeah.
at the time.
'Cause this was like
Affliction,
the
or,
Ed Hardy
Melrose,
time.
Ed Hardy, yeah.
yeah,
Ed
just
Hardy was
anything on
the-
Melrose Avenue, yeah. Oh, God. The bottle thing, it makes me genuinely uncomfortable.
End of episode.
Pedro
It could
Lopez.
also be like the subject matter too is like not it's like yucky in a way. I don't know, like diaper time and shit. Do you guys remember that cable show in New York One, like where it was like news during the day?
Yeah, and at night it was Robin Bird.
Robin Bird. We talked about this, didn't we, on the podcast?
I don't think so.
I don't think we talked about Robin Bird.
So it was like softcore porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it was. Yeah, it was
a
like
lot of like naked,
she would have like strippers
have
on.
flaccid men.
Yeah, it was both women and men, and they would be.
Well, there
and
was
they would
men
come
for
on and-
men.
Yeah, it was men for men,
There was
and then
men for
women
men.
for whatever.
women for men.
And they would come and they would basically
It
be.
was all for men.
It was all for men. It was men for men
to
and
be
women
clear,
for
yeah,
men.
yeah, it was all for
It was
all for
men
men.
for men and women for men.
Yeah, it was all for men.
There was very
And it
little
was
for the women.
and they would do like strip teases. Or
Yeah.
they would strip.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be any like fornication.
No.
But they would do strip. But they would strip naked, and then they would plug what strip club they were working at in the city.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what
the
Oh,
intention
really?
of it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wonder, is Robin Bird still around? Is she still with us? She was
already
already falling apart.
She was
Doubt it.
something else.
She was something else.
There
She,
was
she
like
had like a
a-
dominatrix outfit on, and she was God. She had to be in her.
70s.
Yeah, for those of you out there that don't
60s,
know,
yeah, it was 60s.
just you know,
Maybe just do a quick Google
maybe
search.
a quick
like-
Google
Robin
search.
Bird.
Look at some Robin Bird stuff.
BYRD.
Was she? It was the
It
Robin
was the
Bird
diaper
show?
time of reality. You
Yeah.
know, like and it was sad. It was like,
I don't know.
Not
The
Internet
erotic
says
at all.
she's still alive.
God
Still
bless.
alive.
How old?
God bless.
She's 65.
Get the fuck
So
out
she
of
was.
here. That's
She was.
not
She was in her
accurate. That's
40s.
not
She was
true.
our age. She was in her.
She was our age.
No,
when-
that's a
when I first saw
lie.
her.
That's a lie. She
You think
was
so?
106. You kidding me?
She might have just led a rough life, man. Like at 45, you know, not everybody
She was
holds
doing
up as well as we
softcore
do.
porn on public access in New York and
20 years ago.
The Robin Bird Show in 1977. That's when it started.
77.
Each episode features Bird in her trademark black crochet bikini and white fingernail polish on an all-red set with a large heart-shaped neon sign that bears the name of her show.
77. So I didn't have a TV a lot of the time that I lived in New York. And then it was like a couple of, maybe the last 2 or 3 years that I was there in the early 2000s where I was living in an apartment that had a TV and I remember I actually have I know I've told you guys this story, so I acknowledge that, but like the craziest fucking thing I ever saw on New York public access TV was, I remember I was watching this, my roommate at the time, one of my roommates, this guy named Darren Petty, and Darren and I were somehow like flipping through the channels. We came across public access, and it was just a close-up of a guy's butt. Just a close-up of a butt, not moving, just still, and a hand coming into the frame every so often to dry shave the butt. and it was literally that was the show, right?
Yeah,
it was just a guy's
like
butt being shaved.
What public access was.
Now,
Sure.
yeah, basically. Now, the part that got interesting though, because Darren and I were like, "What the fuck is this?" You know. But of course, just like almost anything public access, you're like, well, don't change it. Like, let's see what happens. You know what I mean? I want to watch this guy's. Let's see where this is headed.
Oh yeah, it's weirdly compelling because you're like, what is this?
What is
It's
this?
just like,
So the guy's butt's getting shaved, and Darren and I start noticing it's getting closer and closer to the butt crack, and we're like, huh. So now at this point we're invested. We're like, how far is he gonna go?
where's the story going?
Hey, so yeah, where's the story going? How far is he gonna get in there, right? So then the guy opens his butt with his hands, and the guy keeps going. And the best part is, like, again, the butt is like totally still. And as he gets closer to the asshole.
Wait, you were seeing the butthole on public access? Or was this some
I don't remember if
DVD
you
you stumbled upon?
No, this is public access. I don't think we saw the butthole, but you know, you could see that was where the razor was headed, and the guy was kind of pulling his ass cheeks apart. But I don't think you could actually see the butthole. But you saw the hand get closer and closer to what you know, because you know where the butthole is, so you know where it's
Usually, for sure.
Yeah.
Unless it's
Usually.
an orangutan, and then God knows where
it is.
the hole is.
But the best part is, as it keeps getting closer, and by this point, Darren and I are like riveted. You know what I mean? Like, we're sitting forward in our seat like it's a fucking action movie. We're like, oh my God, he's getting really close to this guy's butthole. And then you just see, at a certain point, you just see the butt as it gets really close to the butthole. You see the razor, and all of a sudden you just hear a guy go, ah, and the butt just moves a little bit. So he got, they were like, oh, he nicked his butthole. He nicked his butthole with the thing. I don't remember past that point. I think Darren and I turned it off at that point. We're like, I've seen enough.
Yeah, there was like a weird song on the Robin Bird show too. It was like,
right.
Baby, let me bang your box.
Wow.
Baby, let me bang your box.
The
I've
only
been
reason
banging since I was a little girl.
I've been banging since I was a little girl.
That's just
And that's
it.
it.
I've been
Your
banging
box.
since I was a little girl.
Baby, let me bang your box. Don't know.
Well, a box is
Well,
your
a box
genitals.
vaginas.
No,
your
but
genitals.
but she was singing it.
She was singing it.
She was
She was singing it about herself.
and saying that she's been banging since she was
Since
a
the
little
day-
girl.
since she was a little girl.
See, that kind of
That's upsetting.
there was a darkness.
But there was
to
a
it. There was a darkness to
okay,
it.
wait. Let me play that. let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Okay.
And say this.
Is as
I
joyful
think-
as the ball guy in Venice Beach?
I think.
He's probably on that show.
I
He's
think it
probably
was
on that
super
show.
like
At one
sex
point.
positive. I think it was
Yeah.
it was a strange time in New
Yes.
York, obviously in the 70s and 80s, where there was a lot of sexual repression going on, right? And like in the gay community specifically.
in the gay community, yeah.
And like so you have this show that you can tune into and watch something that you're attracted to that makes it feel a little bit less
Yeah.
weird. I don't know.
Yeah, you're into some kinky shit. You're just
But I don't think anybody was like into it. Like very few people were like. Do you remember the scene in the movie Basketball Diaries where he tries to cheer up his buddy Michael Imperioli is the actor who's got cancer. He's like dying, right? So he takes him to the peep show, and the thing slides up, and the woman's dancing, and then she's like disturbed that he looks sick and he's not enjoying it, and the whole thing it's a really dark scene. That's what it felt like. That's like what that feels like to me. Where it's like, this is
It
for
was-
no
it
one.
was definitely
no one's
seedy, that's
enjoying
for
it,
sure.
and people feel like it's like there's a. It's not evil.
I'm trying to think of if I was
No,
watching
I think
it.
you nailed it. I think that's right. It felt seedy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it felt seedy.
that's the right.
It
word
felt
for it.
lonely.
Yeah.
I think. Where it was like
right.
it was. They felt joyless.
I don't ever remember watching it and thinking, well, this is hot.
No.
No,
It was
no,
more like, this is fascinating.
this is fascinating.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Baby,
was
let me
fascinating.
bang your box. Well, the catchphrase was. I mean, the song was.
I mean, I remember the
was
song,
positive.
so I watched enough of it.
It was sex positive, as you said.
I guys, I gotta pee.
Okay.
Go pee.
Or maybe what he's going to do is
have a sex positive moment in the bathroom?
masturbate because he just got so
He's
turned
so
on.
aroused by the butthole story.
Yeah, like it's like the fact that it was so the
story.
butthole. Yeah, it wasn't the Robin Bird, it was the butthole
No,
story.
it was the butthole
and it's
story. It
so
was like-
seedy, and that's what he gets off on.
He's feeling sex positive.
He's feeling very positively sexy.
So
Yeah.
she came out as bisexual later
Did
in
she
life.
now?
Yes, she did.
Oh, really? Thank you.
Yeah.
Robin.
So
Yeah, maybe she was banging boxes.
Oh yeah, she used to. Oh, that was yeah. She would. The women would dance, and she would like lick them,
That I don't
or
recall.
pretend to like lick them.
did you guys ever do any public access? Were you ever on public access and or the news before you were on TV?
Not that I know of.
I don't think so.
I used to host a public access show in Kalamazoo.
Really? Like in
Yeah,
college?
well, I mean, my friends and I in high school, as like it was like we got credit for it at school for like a communications class or
Oh, that's
something,
cool.
hosting a call-in show in Kalamazoo, Michigan, on public access, and it was just people calling in. It was all live, like broadcast live, and it was just people calling in, and every third person would just yell "cock," and then like that was it.
Yeah.
That was the show.
What was your
basically
theme
on there.
song?
I don't even know if we had a theme song. It was like so low rent. But I hope
will
that
you
footage
please yell
doesn't
cock?
exist anywhere.
Which is why they did it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Do we feel as though this was a successful format?
I don't know. I think it'd
don't
be interesting
know.
to see how it would cut together.
Well, you know what?
Wish
I
it
think
was
it's
a
let's have
episode
people-
we felt more
Let's have
strongly
people
about.
comment
Yeah.
on it
Yeah.
and
Do a
and
poll.
see if they like it. You
Yeah,
know, do you
that's
want to
true.
see more of these like this where you watch us watch the show or you watch the show with us? You know, do you want to see that? Do you like that? You into that? You want more of that?
Is that your weird thing?
Yeah.
that your thing?
What kind of creep are
that
you?
your creepy
Are you?
thing?
Are you
Yeah.
What were you sex positive in that bathroom?
I'm not sure I know what that means.
We were wondering if you were so aroused by the butthole story that you just needed a minute in the bathroom.
Yeah, give me a second here. I gotta. Yeah, I'm remembering a time where I was more aroused than I've ever been.
Well, I'm out of juice. I don't know about you guys.
No, we got more in us, right?
Do we?
What's how much time have we wasted?
Well, we watched the thing, which took up some time, but
Yeah. Just about done it. Let's see if I have any.
Let's dig deep. Let's find something because usually the last minute thing ends up being kind of the best thing.
Okay.
Let's see if we can dig deep and find something. Okay.
I mean, deeper than your butt shaving story? That's pretty good. I think that's gonna.
I don't know. Sometimes I
that's
feel like I
gonna
tell
play.
stories and you guys don't enjoy it as much as I expect you to.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it very much. I love that story.
I have just a general question about the show for you guys that I've
Okay.
been meaning to ask. How do you guys feel about the fact that the show is like spawned so many memes? Like in the last episode, we were talking about the jobs, firing off the job cannon and everything. Like
Right.
there are so many memes from this show that it's like almost its own internet language.
Yes, okay. So I've seen a lot of It's Always Sunny memes out there, but I didn't know if that was because people were sending them to me because I'm on the show, or if that was because they're really as ubiquitous as ubiquitous.
It doesn't
As,
mean anything to me.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Right? Huh? How about that? Huh? See how I use the word meme?
Yeah.
It's meaningless.
God, fuck off.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm always interested to see what catches on and what doesn't. So if I see a meme from something, it kind of extends into the episodes too, where we make something and we go, oh, people are really going to enjoy this one. We think that the audience our audience understands us and will love it. And maybe it's like a shrug, and then we'll make something and think, I don't know, that one's fine. And
Yeah,
then
the
people
biggest
will
example
really-
that's coming up where we put the night. We thought that we completely screwed up that not the Nightman Cometh musical, but the first time we sang the Nightman song. And we cut that episode together and we hated it so much.
Yes.
That we just stuck it at the very end. We're like, you know what? But the meme thing, I mean, it's it's cool. I like it. I mean, I find it very, I don't know, I'm pleased that we've made an impact.
I see that one of I'm playing both sides, so I always come out on top. People post that like all the time when there's like a news story or something, like a pastor who preaches against homosexuality having like a gay lover or something like that.
I don't know what our impact is. It's very hard to feel from the inside, right? Like sometimes you feel like the show is giant and has reached everyone, and then sometimes you feel like, no, we have our sort of niche audience and we sort of exist outside the zeitgeist or culture in general. Like I don't know.
It's both frustrating and also it's frustrating at times to feel like you're not getting sort of wide recognition, but at the same time, like when I think about most of the artists, you know, actors, bands, musicians that I've liked the most have occupied this same space. You know, a space where it's like they make a very specific kind of thing for a certain type of listener or viewer. And it's almost like, because authenticity is so important to me in artistry, that like it's a sign of authenticity to me. You know, when it makes me feel like when something's too popular, I worry that that they're pandering, you know, and it turns me off. You know, but there are plenty of examples of like huge bands that are some of my favorites of all time, like Pink Floyd and Radiohead. I mean, those bands are huge, but I wouldn't say that those guys ever pandered. So I'm going against what I said, but I think the fear
You're
for
playing both sides so that you can
I always come out on top.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know, but memes, that's like I don't think about it at all. Do you think about it? I don't think about it.
I like to see a good meme. I don't know.
I like it. I say it makes me laugh when I see it.
I'm interested in your posture.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Are you
Just,
tired? Oh no,
I'm
did you
seeing
run out
it-
of steam?
You know, it's like I got to sleep at like midnight, and then we wrote this into the show, but like there's always something beeping, and one of the fire alarms at my house started just beeping that the battery was low at like 5 a.m. or whatever.
What else has been beeping in your house?
The fucking smoke detector. So I gotta go around, rip the goddamn smoke detector out of the wall, and then I got the wrong one, and then the ladder's missing.
Big house
Can't
problems.
find the fucking ladder.
Big house problems.
Big house problems.
Or small man problems.
I gotta small man, big house.
I don't know. What else? What else?
I don't know. I tried to pull something out of you guys, and God bless.
Over here. You got this whole thing now.
Oh yeah.
We got a
Wanna
whole
play a
rig.
song?
Play us out, Charlie.
Play us out, buddy.
What do we wanna? Let's write a quick musical about shaving buttholes.
Yeah.
What do you think?
See if you can figure out "Baby, Let Me Bang Your Box."
Oh, no, I can't remember it. Baby, no, I don't remember it. Baby, let me bang your box. You know, it's
Baby,
basically
let me
like that.
bang your box.
Let me bang your box. That's
Yeah.
basically
Well,
it.
Baby, let me bang. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was just like 2 chords.
Robin Bird's gonna come after us for cash.
Public access.
You bitches stole my theme song.
You know that's how she sounds now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because she's
For
only
sure.
40
I don't
now.
know. I don't know that that's how she sounds, but
She
I
had a
know
TV
that's
show in
how-
1970 something, but she's only 40 years old. What was it?
No,
You
she's
bitches
60.
think you could just steal my theme song and get away with it? I wasn't gonna come after you.
Well, now she will.
Your ass is mine.
This is New York City. We don't.
This is New York City. We don't take that shit.
Well, actually,
You
it's Hoboken. It's a basement in Hoboken.
Baby, let me bang your box. I got this.
They shaved my butthole. They got too close. They nicked it a little bit. You say it's gross. Baby, let me bang your box.
That's great.
All right. right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Glenn, how are you? You guys are all over the world. I'm in the city that we all live in. You're elsewhere. Can you tell us where you are?
I'm in New York City.
New York City?
New York City at a fancy old hotel.
Oh, shit.
The Big Apple. What are you sipping there?
I'm
I'll
sipping
be right-
coffee.
Glenn, go do whatever you got to do. I'll talk to Charlie. Fuck this guy, right? I mean, let's just fuck this
Fucking
guy.
He wants to get up.
I know.
wants to
Oh, he
get
can still
down.
hear us. He's got the
Oh, shit, he's got the earbuds in. Fuck.
Damn it. All right, he's outsmarted us
Yeah.
again.
Oh, shit.
That's a nice place
man.
you're staying in.
Hey, man.
It's not too bad.
Caitlin is very upset. She noticed the angle that I used. She's very upset with it. She thinks that people give a flying fuck about what is in the background, and I don't care. But I do appreciate that Glenn made it look nice.
Well, no, this is just what it looked like. I keep it nice. I keep it nice. You know what I mean? I was the first spot where, you got a little natural sun shining on your face, without a hideous background. This is really the only spot I had where I could get both those things. It's a little bit of a weird thing. But look, we're both showing, kitchen stuff, I guess. Rob?
Yes.
Yeah. For the listener, I'm sure this is absolutely fascinating.
I ought to get in there to talking about the kitchen stuff you can see in the background of the shots, which I cannot see because I'm just listening. But honey, get out of here! You're gonna keep describing. Get over here.
Well, all the creeps can see that Glenn looks like he's wearing some sort of a beanie. Real fascinating look. I'm into it. I'm into it. And then for the listeners, it's not going to mean much to you, but it's worth maybe checking out on the YouTube or the video podcast because it's an interesting look. It's sort of a prison cap.
I know what it's about, though.
I know what it's about.
I don't know if you want to talk about what it's about, or if that's a
so
secret.
I ran this. I actually ran this by some people just in case it came up, and I figured it would just because it's like
yeah, it's
I don't
tough to
know.
avoid.
You can't hide it, but you can't hide it.
I don't know why I chose to wear this particular hat. It was kind of a last minute thing. I was like, oh shit, I need a hat. So I'm in Toronto because I'm shooting a movie, and my character is bald on top. Not, completely bald, just, male pattern baldness, bald on top. And I'll show. It doesn't look that great right now because we did the hair and makeup test on Monday, so it's had a little chance to kind of grow back in.
It's glorious,
it's so
man.
great.
It is glorious. Yeah, it's grown back
It's
in a
so
little bit. From
great.
the pictures you sent were astounding. It's amazing.
I mean, Any listener right now needs to become a creep very quickly. It's worth becoming
Absolutely.
a creep just to
So-
watch. Glenn looks as creepy as possible. He's now one of you. He's a creep.
If you are a seeing creep, Glenn has shaved his hair but left the sides, although the sides are very tight as well.
It's pretty tight. Yeah, it changes over the course of the film. It starts kind of longer like this, and then by the end, it's a little more Jason Statham. You know what I mean? It's a little more like down,
Pretty great,
like,
man.
down real tight.
Well-
you know, maybe not as short as this is right now, but
It's so good. It's
And
so
how are you
good.
feeling
it's
about
so
its
great.
potential ability to come back? You think it's, or
this look.
no, I mean like
No,
will
the
the hair
hair.
grow back, or have you damaged?
I
have
did-
you
you know-
did the razor hit all the plugs and jack those?
I mean,
up?
it's not that it did. The thought crossed my mind for sure. But I thought, well, that's just stupid. I mean, I shave my face all the time, and the hair always comes back. Like, what's what I mean? They're hair follicles. How delicate could they be? And yet, I feel like I have heard stories, and I don't know if you guys have you ever had anybody who's like, yeah, I shaved my head and it never came back. Like, I feel like I heard some people say that, but
I feel like Danny said that to me once.
yeah,
feel like-
right. It's like
I
it
feel
just
like
never
Danny
came
said
back.
like, I took it all off once and then that was it. But I don't know. I could be making that up.
Now, are you using are you utilizing our sponsors? Because we have a sponsor who could maybe take care of that head.
Wrong head.
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
Hey, come on,
jokes, a joke's in for the listeners, the creeps. I think they made a sexual reference.
Speaking of sex, speaking of sexual references, and speaking of sex offenders, which is the look that Glenn does have going on right now, and it's not just the baldness; it's the whole look.
I mean, Rob. No, it isn't.
I think
No,
you
it
look more like a
isn't.
Parisian safecracker or something with that.
Thank you for putting up. I prefer that. I
Yeah.
prefer that spin.
Like you're going to tiptoe into that apartment and you might have a croissant and then you're going to crack
I'm
the
going to guess
safe
that
and-
anybody who's a Parisian cracker is also a sex offender. Just throwing that out there.
That is so. You are so offensive today. Like, why can't you be?
I've just run into too many French people who are fucking dickheads. I'm sorry, I don't know. We're doing our best. Have you ever met a country full of more dickheads? Maybe the U.S. Okay, fine. All right, fine. We've got a lot of dickheads running around here too, but man.
Well, it is an interesting move to be like, I'm mad that you don't know my language, and I'm also mad that you're trying to learn it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're mad at
You
both.
give it a
It's
shot.
Like,
Yeah, they're just mad. They're just angry.
you go. Yeah,
hate
they're
us.
just they're
They hate
angry
everybody.
about. So I don't know what they're so angry about. They live in a beautiful country. I mean, what the hell's going
hate
on there?
that they hate that we saved them from. Well, no, I didn't. My grandfather did. Your
still hanging on to
grandfather
that?
did. I think so.
They're still.
I think they're
Really?
upset about them just getting their fucking asses kicked, and the U.S. had to come in and save their. Sorry, and so did the Russians. We saved you guys. Anyway, I'm upset about the French.
Yeah, boy,
No, that's
you're going
okay.
off with
What's
the
this-
French. I mean, Rob, I'm very popular in France. I can't go anywhere near this. It's,
Oh, maybe that's what it is. I'm angry that they have no idea who I am. They're like, who is
no,
this?
they don't know. They don't say, Rob, there's too many sounds, no?
Too many sounds. No.
It's, how do you say? I do. Fuck everybody. Yeah.
I had an old roommate who was French, and I loved him. He's lovely, and his family was lovely. So it's not all of the French, but you know what I'm saying. It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
It's the wait
I
staff.
think they're.
It's the wait
I
staff.
think.
It's,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
and
you know,
they're
like-
they're aware. I think the French are aware that there is a certain, number of them that don't, and they probably feel misrepresented by the rude ones, because I'm sure there's quite a few friendly French people, but they do have a reputation for being a bit sort of like snooty, right? Little sort of dismissive, snooty, it's this whole thing of like, you try to stumble through a couple French phrases because you're trying to order French fries the right way in the country, and they're just like I love it. What they always do is they come up to the table, they immediately start speaking French because they don't know where you're from, although they could probably tell, so maybe they don't, But
that's fair. You're in their nation, and they're going to speak French to you. Okay, great.
no, but that's the whole
fair.
thing. Once they know you're an English speaking person, they stop speaking French entirely. because they're like, we're not even going to play this fucking game. I don't have time for this shit. And you know what? They're not totally wrong. That's got to be fucking annoying after a while to watch. Just you got like, I got 10 tables. I got 10 fucking tables. I got to listen to this guy stumble through his shitty French every time. No, it's not. It's not going to work for me.
But even that would be okay if then.
I have shit to do. I have so many cigarettes to smoke.
I have 15 more cigarettes to smoke in the next hour.
Stupid America.
Well, anyway.
Okay. Well, so
This episode's not going to travel well over there.
No. Well, so
We'll check our
I was just gonna
numbers
say
in France, and if we're playing big in France, we'll cut all that.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. All right. Okay. Yeah. So Meg, you'll check the numbers and then decide to cut that or not.
There is no Meg.
Meg is very close to France right now. Meg is somewhere in the Heathrow airport.
Oh, do you think she's just like tearing through the airport, like all frantic and sweaty and shit,
Yes.
like trying to get to her computer?
Yes. Yes. She's very upset that she's missing this, even though we've made it very, very clear that it's okay to be in Heathrow Airport and not be able to get a great Wi-Fi signal.
It's a whole thing, you know. You go somewhere else, and then the phone takes a minute to be like, how do I get the interweb?
Right. What is this? Yeah. What's the system
What
here?
is this?
You know what? Maybe if she's in Heathrow, there's definitely some French people around. Maybe she could go up and talk to a few of them and just see if they're nice. See if if their first instinct is to say hello. You're a fellow human. It's a pleasure to meet you. Or would they
I'll
just
tell you something.
sort of look at you with disdain because you're an American?
You know who's
That's the
really
way I
nice?
feel.
You know who's really nice? French Canadians.
Yeah, Canadians. Well, Canadians in general.
Canadians, yeah.
Just an absolutely lovely. I was in a store the other day, and there was so much gratitude being thrown around, you know, from all the customers and everyone who worked. It was a whole smile. Like a guy, you know, I bought some wine, and the guy said, you know, thanks very much for thank me for coming in. Thank you very much for coming in. I said, well, I appreciate you, and he goes, I appreciate you. Like that was the exchange. It was like, well, I was like, thanks, man, I appreciate you, and he goes, and I appreciate you. And he meant it. He meant it. It wasn't snarky. Yeah. Like I couldn't even deliver it real. I like it even came off snarky when I did it. As I appreciate you. Like, but it was very. He meant it. You know what I mean? Like, so actually, I don't know when I was. This was back in 2004. I was visiting a friend who we all know, Morena Baccarin. She was doing a pilot. She was doing a TV show in Vancouver. And I went up there to visit her, and we were hanging out, and we were driving somewhere. And, you know, this was like 3 years after I'd moved from New York City to Los Angeles. And, you know, both places, you know, can bring out the cynic or sort of the misanthropic side of anyone. But anyway, we were sitting in the car, and we were waiting at a red light, and there was a crosswalk, and a guy walked in front of the car, and he walked in front of the car, and he just kind of walking like this, and he looks over at us sitting in the car, and he's like, and he waves like that, and then he turns and keeps walking. Morena and I are both like, the fuck is this guy up to?
I don't know
what does he
guy.
want? Shit. What does he want?
What
is this guy?
What
does he want
that
from
move?
me? What is that shit? What is that shit? What does he want from us? You know what I mean? And then he just kept walking, and both of us looked at each other and were like, oh shit, we're assholes. Like, that guy was just being nice. He was just being nice. That's it. He saw us, and he was like, gave us a wave, and was like, you know, just wanted us to have a good day. He was floating on a fucking cloud, and he wanted us to feel the same way. So, I don't know.
I think
shitty.
New York gets a bad rap because I think people assume that New Yorkers are assholes, and I never found that at all. I feel like New York is an incredibly friendly city as compared, relative to other cities and countries. I've always found that to be the case.
I feel like
they're
used to be more of a
brash.
brash, like more of a no nonsense. Like, all right, hurry up, do your order. My uncle had a really funny story about his first time visiting New York City, and he was like this like Tennessee mountain man, and he's walking down the street, and there's a cop standing on the corner, and he walks up to the cop, and he goes like, morning, officer. And the cop goes, yeah, very funny, keep it moving.
Very funny.
Yeah, very funny, yeah. Hilarious guy. Oh, good morning? Oh, yeah, I guess it is a good morning. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, I think what you're referring to, Robin, you're not totally wrong. I actually feel the same way about New Yorkers. I think you're right. I mean, look, there's assholes everywhere, but I think in general, I think you're right. But the difference is, and I think that you know, coming from Philly, you also find this refreshing. coming from the South, you know, where everyone is just like overly polite, I actually found the directness, the candor, and the brashness of a lot of New Yorkers very refreshing. I was just kind of like, oh, great. You're not like trying to couch this in a bunch of like flowery fucking bullshit.
That's how
Like,
I feel. Don't give me the fake sweet. I'll take an asshole over someone who's fake sweet.
Absolutely.
It's like, all right,
Absolutely.
Well, then go to the Midwest, because that's for goddamn sure. That's legit too. You go to anywhere in Wisconsin, for example, you walk around and that is a genuine kindness and compassion that I've.
No,
Yes,
genuine
exactly.
kindness
You know.
I'm here for. That's great.
Illinois, Wisconsin, like the middle part of this country. You walk around and they mean it.
Yeah, when they
Why are
say,
they so
how are
happy?
you? How are you?
they mean
You know, they mean it. That's not like a, you know, I'm from the South. I have to put on airs, and you know, I sound like I'm coming down on all Southerners. I am a Southerner. I just found that there's a certain number of people in the South who have a tendency to kind of do this performative sort of greeting every time you walk in the room. They're like, how y'all doing? It's so great to see y'all. And you're just like, why? Why is it that great? It's not that great to see me. I know it isn't. I know it's not that great to see me. So don't fucking throw out the, oh my gosh, how long has it been? You're not really wondering how long it's been. You don't fucking care how long it's been. Who cares? It's bullshit. It's performative. I don't like it.
Well, I have not spent as much time in the South as you have, but I can say that when I do go down there, have traveled to say Louisiana or Mississippi or Texas, I appreciate it because I'm not getting it on the regular. So it is nice to have people just come up and whether it's fake or not, I have no idea because I'm only there for a week at a time, and I'm enjoying the niceties. But I could see that maybe over time you start to sniff out who's
you start to see through it.
I think you find that
Which I
most
guess exists
people,
everywhere.
wherever you go, wherever in the world, their resting state is fairly nice and accommodating.
Oh, not in France. Not in France.
And then
That's
what
what I'm
happened in
saying.
What happened there?
I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't know.
It's got to be
But
geography.
not to suggest that how many people, there's millions and millions and millions of people that live in France. They're not all assholes, but they're resting. Like you have to get past the artifice, and then you find, oh wow, what are you so afraid of? What are you so afraid of over there, guys?
You think it's
I
fear?
feel nothing because there is no point to life and no point to this exchange that we are having. And
it's meaningless.
It's meaningless, and I feel nothing but malaise. We're still supported by Athletic Greens and their green drink powder, AG1. A combination of 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and Glenn, how do you say it?
Adaptogens.
Adaptogens. I mean, it's great. I take it, first thing in the morning, so it gets absorbed on an empty stomach. I'm getting all those nutrients like right into my system. It tastes excellent, and I feel like it doesn't taste too healthy, which is good. I don't want it to taste too healthy.
What about the smell? I love the way it smells. It smells delicious.
Think about the smells, you bitch.
Think of the smells. I can confirm it smells just fine.
To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/sunny. Okay, that's important. athleticgreens.com/sunny. That's how Meg gets her money.
Again, Megan doesn't get paid. Megan doesn't get paid.
All right, unless you go to athleticgreens.com/sunny. Okay, take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Well, all right, so we took care of the French. Should we talk about the episode? Should we?
Yes. I have to say, I'm excited to talk about the episode, but I miss you guys. I haven't seen you in a while, and I like talking to you just about your life and what's going on. So.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, listen, pal. I miss
but I'm
you
happy
too.
to transition.
I mean, look, I wish you're here in New York City, man. Ton of fun this town.
Yeah, it sure is.
So we got Toronto, we got LA, we got New York, and we've got London. I mean, are we some jet setters? Well, you guys are the jet setters. I'm just sort of sitting in the same place.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should talk about the episode. Do you guys remember what the impetus for this episode was?
No. Do you?
No.
I don't at all.
Around a time, it was a time where there was a new law that was out that was making people that you had to register as a sex offender.
I will say this feels like to me like one of the episodes where we just had a funny concept. Like, hey, what if Dennis looked a lot like a guy who was a registered sex offender? I feel like that could have just been like a card on the wall. Like somebody looks like a sex offender or something.
Well, I mean, we used to, I mean, I used to, and I think you did too, Rob, and maybe you too, Charlie, but like used to like kind of just skim through Philadelphia newspapers to see what was going on in the city, see if there was something specific to Philadelphia that we wanted to deal with. And there was a new sex offender law that had been passed about, how they have to register. Might have been one of those headlines that caught our eye and we went, oh, okay, that's kind of an interesting, thing. And then to have, Dennis look like this guy, I don't know where that came from, but I'll tell you what, I was very excited when we were breaking that episode, the thought of like actually getting to play like this guy, getting to do, like an Eddie Murphy or fucking thing, you know what I mean? Just put on a fat suit and be just like a totally different guy. That was fun.
Yeah. You know what? Megan, I think, sent us a list of questions that I have here, and I could read some of them off.
Glenn used to be the host.
Well, yeah, no. Well, that was, I think what happened was you guys sensed the power dynamic shifting, and you guys were like, we got to step up, otherwise Howerton's going to be the star of this thing, and I can't have that.
Here she comes. Look at the time.
Oh, wow.
Look at the timing of this.
Oh, Megan
my
live!
Look at the time. We were just talking about you.
Live from Heathrow, Europe.
This thing was going over like a lead balloon, man. Let me tell you.
Oh no! What happened?
I had your questions. I was going to read your questions off, but now you're here and you can do it.
So are you all set up over there? Microphone and everything, recording, and you're
I have my microphone. Yes, I'm in a coffee shop. I have I have a latte. This will prove that I'm here because we don't have this brand in the States, I don't think. So,
drinking a
Megan,
coffee
we've
at
done-
what 9 like 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night? There is that right?
It's
what time is it there?
5, I think, 5:30.
5. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
but I gotta stay up.
Risky.
I gotta stay up till like 10 tonight to beat this jet lag. So,
do you have your bags and everything, Megan, or are they just like going around at the thing?
I'll show you.
No, you got your bag, and then you got to a little quiet area.
How do you find a quiet area in the middle of an airport? I don't understand. Like,
I
how
hear
is
the
this
hustle
possible?
bustle, but I like it. It's
I
adding
know, but you're
ambiance.
sitting on like a nice leather couch and shit. Like, where do you find
I'm
something
in a
like
little
that?
coffee shop. Well, the airports in the UK are lovely. Heathrow Airport is like my favorite. Sometimes I come here early just to like hang out here because it's nice.
Everybody hates you at LAX. You know what I mean? Like the second you walk in, they're like, move, keep moving, move, keep it moving. Like you have to stop your car for like 2 seconds at the curb to let your friend out. It's like, let's go, get the car out of here. I need all the cars out of here.
Don't you love too when like you
It's
go to
crazy
TSA
right now,
and they've
LAX.
changed a rule where they're like, we don't need you to take laptops out of bags anymore, and then they're like irritated with you for not knowing it. Like they're like,
Right.
no, keep your shoes on. You're like, well, I
You
don't
keep
know.
one
guys.
shoe on. Again, people, you get to keep one shoe on, okay? All right? One shoe on. As long as you have an orange sock. If you have an orange sock, you can keep your both shoes on. But if you got white socks, you got to take a third of a shoe off, okay? Don't make me say it again, people.
The flip side of that is the 75% of people who stand in a line for an hour, then they get to the very front of it, and then they have no idea why they're there or what's going on, apparently.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
never been on an airplane before. They don't know that they have to walk through a metal detector and that, their phone will set it off or might set it off, and therefore it shouldn't be in your pocket.
That's pretty frustrating.
Yeah, there was a lady who was incensed she couldn't bring her giant bottle of water through she was drinking. It's like, is this your first time flying?
Yeah, have you never heard that? That's like something that even if you haven't been to
You
the
don't
airport,
look like
you've
the
heard
kind of
this.
person that it's your first time flying, so you should know this.
You know what? Here they've done away with the customs. Like you just put your passport on like a machine and it just opens a door and you like walk through. But I kind of miss like the interaction with the customs official. But I came here once to the UK and they were asking me questions about like what was my business here. And I was saying like, oh, I'm seeing my husband. And they were like, what's your business? And I was like, I work in television. And then the customs guy was like, do you make a lot of money at that? And I was like, do I have to answer that? Like, he just
No.
was curious. And so he was just asking
Yeah.
me how much money I made. And I was like, it's just weird. He was like, no, I'm just interested. I was like, well, it's weird in the capacity of you being a customs agent to ask me questions like that.
Right. You got how much you got on you right now? Like, how much you got on you? You know, let's just say you were having trouble getting through. Would you have the means to? Would you have the ability to, grease the squeaky wheel, as it were? You know, to grease some palms.
Those tits, are they real or what you got working with over there? It's like that sort of question.
Right.
There are other ways to get into
Is
this
that a
country.
television effect?
I've talked to you. I'm sure I know I've bitched to you guys about this before, but one of my just all-time most infuriating and confusing things is, the number of times I've been, you're waiting at the ticket counter. You don't have to do this, kiosks now, so this is kind of an older problem, but like when you would wait at the ticket counter to give them your bags and get, issued your ticket, you walk up. Here's all it is. You walk up, you hand them your ID, which you should already have in your fucking hand, unless you're an asshole. You hand them the ID, they print the ticket out, they get your bag, they put it on, and you're gone within 3 minutes. I'm out of there, And yet every single motherfucker that's in front of me is like the person's on the computer like fucking writing a fucking novella. And you're like, what are you doing? Does this person have who shows it? Like, I imagine people show up to the airport and they're like, what is this place? And they're like, oh, this is an airport. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I should go somewhere. Yeah, maybe you should. And it just goes on and on. They're like, well, where do you guys fly to? Like, how does it take that long? Like, to get, you either have a fucking ticket for this flight or you don't. What are you doing? I never understood that. It drives me crazy.
You've always been one to get very fairly frustrated at say a coffee shop where there's a line of 8 people, and then you have the people waiting in line, and it takes maybe like 12 minutes, or maybe it's less, maybe it's 4 minutes. It doesn't matter. The point is when the person finally gets up to the barista and then starts looking at the menu. And doesn't know what it is that they want to get until they get up there.
Let's see.
You're like, I'm going to fucking punch you in the back of the neck, you fucking asshole. Like, what is... I just...
Now, Meg, we've spent the first half of the podcast complaining about the French. Do you see any French people around you? Have you heard them? Are you seeing anybody around you who's acting like an asshole?
I haven't seen any French people around, but I'll let you know. There must be some. I'm in the International Arrivals Terminal. So everybody's here. It's actually the one they shot Love Actually in. So you guys probably never seen Love Actually, but women will know that this is the terminal they shot the Arrivals scene in.
Love Actually.
The three of us shook our heads.
Love Actually.
I mean, they may as well have titled that movie "Men Don't Bother."
And they didn't.
Love
Apparently
Actually.
Love Actually. Don't be sarcastic with me. Movie title. Fuck you.
Yeah. It's Love.
Actually, it's Love. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Okay. So there you go.
Okay.
The answer. What is that? What does that mean? Was the question posed? Are you with me for the sex, or are you with me for something else, sweetie? Are you with me for my money?
Love Actually.
Yeah. Let's talk.
Okay.
Let's talk about
Love.
a movie that we've never seen actually, and pontificate on why the movie is called.
Why
that.
the title?
I like that
That's
game.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it could also be that it's like you thought you were in love with somebody, but then you meet somebody else and you're like, actually, that's love. I didn't realize that until I met this person. This is love, actually. The thing before was
That's
just
most likely
I thought
it.
it was. Did I get too real? Did I not be funny and I actually nailed it? Meg, did I
Could
nail it?
it be about
kinda...
someone who's incapable of feeling love and then suddenly starts to feel it, and this is actually
This
the
is Love
emotion of
Actually.
love? It's actually that.
Yeah.
What if the movie is about a guy named Phil Actually? And
Yeah.
right? And then there's
Yeah.
there is star-crossed lovers. There's a woman named Jane. And
Jane Love.
She falls in love. Actually.
Jane Love falls in love with Phil actually. And this is great. This is really good stuff. All right, so we've got a sequel.
Who's in that movie?
Everyone, right? Isn't it one of those?
Yeah. Lots
Like
of
500
people are
people?
in that movie. Yeah, because it's like
Yeah, it's
six
like-
different stories. I prefer your version of it to the actual one, so I'm not going to tell you guys what happens in it because you should
You
break
like our
your own
version?
version. Yeah,
I probably did see it and just don't remember seeing it.
It sounds like a Hugh Grant movie. Was he in that? Is that a Hugh Grant joint?
Yes, Hugh Grant was in it.
Oh, he for
Come
real?
on,
He
man.
was. Yep.
Of course he was. What are you
Of course
kidding
he
me?
was. He was in love, actually.
I believe he played the prime minister in the movie.
Of love.
The Prime
Prime
Minister.
Minister.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister of Love. Love Actually.
Oh, it's a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
The Prime Minister
Oh.
of Kindness. Of Love, actually. That's the first line. Right.
Listen to this cast for 1 second. Hugh Grant, Liam Neeson, Colin Firth, Laura Linney, Emma Thompson, Alan Rickman, Keira Knightley, Martine McCutcheon, don't know, Bill Nye, Rowan Atkinson. I must see this movie. These are fantastic actors. We're missing out.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't tickle my fancy. I saw the poster. I knew
They're
all
great,
those
of
people were in
course
it.
they're
I
all
still
great
didn't go see it. No,
actors.
they're all great. They're
great
great. They're great. They just need to do a movie. Now, if the movie was called Guns, actually, I probably would have gone to see it. You know what I mean? Or like, Fists, actually, and
Yeah,
it had that
Fists,
cast.
actually, yeah.
I'd be like, fuck yeah, man. What is that? Like, what is that shit? Like,
Yeah. Or Fist Action Lee, and it's about a guy named Lee and his fist action.
yeah, and all of his fist
I'm
action.
seeing that for sure.
Are we ever going to talk about this episode?
Let's do it.
Fine.
There was one scene, and I don't remember which it was, where I was behind the monitors watching you guys. It might have even just been part of the scene, and my stand-in was doing the thing where he was holding his breath as me. I don't remember which shot it is. I think it's maybe when the lady comes in to speak to us, and then after I don't know why we did that, but I think in those early seasons we had so little trust about anyone.
That's
Except
why.
one
I
of
know
us being
exactly why
behind the
we would have
camera.
done that. Yes, because
Yeah,
we're
so-
control freaks, and somebody had to be behind the camera. One of
Yeah,
us.
so I was behind the camera, and I always remember being like, wow, this guy, I think his name was David, who was my stand-in that season, was like ripped. Like, I was like, this guy's
handsome David. David was really handsome.
handsome guy, and strong. And I was like, wow, great, man. Good stand-in. Good double.
The thing where where Frank falls against the wall and spills all the chicken parts. Did that line where like you made me drop all the chicken parts or whatever? Is that line in the episode or is that just in the bloopers? I just remember thinking that was really funny too. The idea that he's not cooking chicken, he's cooking chicken parts.
Yeah, he says that in the episode.
He does? Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
I always like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like
just the parts of
he's
chicken.
cooking chicken parts.
There's a couple specific things in there that I remember it during the writing process being really pleased with. The specificity of turkey sangria, and I remember like writing that and thinking it was funny, and then I remember you guys reading that and laughing and being like, "What is that?" And I said, "I don't know, but it just sounds funny," and your imagination goes to whatever that might be.
Right.
Turkey sangria.
At the dinner party, whatever was on the plates was just like a gray sort of
Yes.
like mash. Like it was
Oh yeah,
really
yeah.
funny.
I remember
looking.
that. I remember shooting that and being like, why does it look like this? But
Everything
being
looks
funny,
dead. Yeah, everything just
Yeah.
looks like devoid,
That
completely
dinner
devoid
party
of
is
Because we
nutrition.
made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because our characters made it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, I really think it really helps you see how these people became who they became. The parents, I mean, the parents are worse than the characters.
Yeah, the parents are
Are
insane.
worse than our characters. Yeah.
Oh, this,
Yeah,
by the
pretty
way,
much.
is the Mrs. Mac Bow episode, which is
Yeah, you mentioned it in the
like,
last one,
sight
but
gags.
Oh, that's right.
that's-
I mixed them up. That's right. Yeah, this is the one with the
yeah,
boner ad.
I remember because you watched them both, but like,
I did.
when you were,
yeah, I couldn't help myself.
yeah.
You know what threw me on this one though is Dee's motivation for getting Dennis beat up. I kind of felt like something that we didn't do before and haven't really done since. Like, where the characters will definitely like screw each other over for their own needs and wants, but probably never to like that kind of an extent, like to get somebody hurt intentionally. I mean, I guess we just did Light Her on Fire an episode before, but
Wasn't the very first. What was the motivation that ended that episode where we put Dennis into a situation where he was assaulted?
oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
in the
That was
first
the very
episode.
first one. The very first one.
That's the very first episode.
But that's not how that was supposed to happen.
It went down the wrong way.
Oh, it went down the wrong way.
It went down the wrong way.
He was supposed to just wake up in bed with the guy, and the guy was supposed to scare Dennis into not wanting to be a gay bar anymore.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a couple guys from Dee's acting class, but she couldn't get those guys. So whoever those guys were just random dudes that I picked up when I was drunk as shit. Like, I think that's basically what we're saying. So technically, I don't think it really was, your fault. But yeah, no, I think it. I think it's fine. It's fun to see Dee, do something so manipulative and use my narcissism against me. I'm always a fan of that.
It's fun. Your voice as Wendell, your fat suit voice. I remember throwing us off the first time because you didn't really tell us what you were going to do.
Yeah, I thought it'd be more fun to just kind of come in and do it once I was in the fat suit in full hair and makeup and just start doing it. But by the way, I didn't even know what the voice was going to be either until I got into the full thing and saw it. Once I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. It's got to just be. It really, what it was just like a really, really bad Al Pacino impersonation. Like, that's all it really is. Oh. It's just a really bad Al. And I knew it was bad enough to where it was like people wouldn't know that I was doing an Al Pacino like impersonation because I can't do one well. And so I was like, oh, that's good for the character then. And I remember, and there's a great blooper of it though of, I don't know, like I'm saying the lines or something, and then what, you step in, Charlie? Who steps in? Somebody steps in and starts doing it.
I stepped in. Yeah. We all gave it a shot because we did a very high end special effect for us at the time where we were doing a split screen because you were obviously playing both characters. So we needed somebody to come in and read the other side of those lines. So
no, we didn't do a split screen
version of it.
We didn't do a split
whatever
screen.
It was. We did an over the. We did some kind of. It was a practical.
Yeah, the
effect.
trick is you just put someone in like Glenn's jacket who looks like him and shoot over his shoulder towards Glenn in the fat suit. Then you turn back around and you shoot over a stand-in who looks like Glenn in the fat suit back to Glenn. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty like basic.
Oh, it's like they did it in the 20s or the 30s. Yeah. I mean, it's well, so I came in and for whatever reason, instead of reading the lines, I tried to do the voice that you did.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a blooper. Oh yeah,
and then I saw that.
It's like
whatever it was.
It's like just having a swollen tongue.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I picture there just being things pressing up against the vocal cords. Maybe if you've gained a little too much weight, maybe there's something kind of constricting things. So that was the thought there, but. I think the idea of eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich when I answered the door was the last minute addition. I don't think that was in the script. I just thought like it'd be funny if he's like eating a sloppy peanut butter and jelly sandwich when he answers the door. It's a nice little addition. I think adds a nice little touch to it. But yeah, that was super fun.
That little kid is. Kid is very funny, Timmy.
Yeah, it's very disturbing.
That's very disturbing. I mean, it's all just innuendo and fun until the until the final line. And I'm sure we sat there and didn't really labor over whether or not we should do it. It was just whatever that final exclamation point at the end of it was probably bandied about.
And then Glenn, you say, like, okay, I get it. I'll take off, and you throw the kid a little wink. Which really puts it over the top.
That's so funny.
It's just awful.
You say he's bad. There. He's not reformed in any way. You're out there taking the heat while I'm in here watching the Disney Channel.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah. Why the hell would I move? So horrible. Do you guys are there celebrities or people that you've seen that are just absolutely like uncanny doppelgangers for you?
Oh, I can tell you the ones I get all the time.
Yeah. Well, Haley Joel Osment used to be a thing, although it's less so these days. Yeah.
Haley and I look a lot alike.
Rob, you got that one on the plane that one time.
What was the one on the plane? Oh, the guy from, a woman comes up to me and she says, oh, I'm such a big fan of yours. And I said, oh, thank you so much. And, she said, "Oh, do you think we could get a photo?" I say, "Sure." We take a photo, and she goes, "I love Burn Notice," and I was like, "Oh, I've never seen that show." And then I'm thinking,
do look like
is
that
she
guy.
watching Burn Notice? Yeah. So she's like, "Burn Notice is like my favorite show. Is it coming back?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Jeffrey
I was like,
Donovan.
I haven't seen it." Yeah.
Isn't his name
I'll take
Jeffrey
that all
Donovan?
day.
Oh, he's
Yeah, Jeffrey
he's a very
Donovan.
good-looking guy, and he's also a fantastic actor. He's great.
Fantastic. Love him.
Yeah.
He's great in Fargo.
Glenn, do you get people? Do you get people? I don't feel like
Not really. Somebody. Oh yeah, you know who I get these days is people compare me to Jonathan Groff.
I see that a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah.
I get Pete Wentz quite a bit, and I know that Pete Wentz gets me. He's told me that a lot of people will say the same thing. And there was also a band that I'd never heard any of their music, but I got I think you guys were always sort of around when the show first premiered, and we would go to events, and there would be people taking photographs of us, and no one had ever seen or heard of our show, but people thought that I was the lead singer of the band Hoobastank, and you guys were all in the band.
What a name.
So I would get a lot of Hoobastank comments.
Yeah. Hoobastank guy. By the way, there's, for those, and I'm sure there's like vast majority of the people that are listening or watching this have never actually experienced being on a red carpet. Okay. Let me tell you something. There is nothing more humiliating than stepping onto a red carpet for some sort of an event. Sometimes it would be the event that was like celebrating the thing that I'm in. And walking the red carpet, having all these people take photos of you, and after they take the photo, they yell at you, "Who are you? What's your name?" You tell them, and you're like, "Oh my God, that is so embarrassing." And they're like, "How do you spell it?" They want to know how to spell. And you're like,
that doesn't still happen to you, right?
No. But that was something that would happen a lot, like
in the beginning,
early seasons. Yeah, for sure. People were like, "Oh, okay, he's on the red carpet. I know I have to take photos of him." And then afterwards, like, tell us your name. Who the hell are you?
How am I going to sell these pictures?
Charles?
I get like people, like regular people. Like people like, "Hey, this is my buddy. I just met in a bar, and he's short and has a beard and scruffy hair." And
It never looks like you. I get a lot. I've seen a lot of that on social media where people are like, look at my buddy. He's like, looks exactly like Charlie." And I'm like, no, he doesn't. No,
No,
fucking
I don't
doesn't.
see a lot of it. The basketball player one, I saw. There was that was pretty funny. There was a guy on the Mavericks, I think, and who's got to be like 7 feet tall. So, there was like someone had cobbled together like a series of pictures of him and then me, and I was like, okay, I see that. It's pretty funny.
Yes, yeah. I remember seeing that. That was a pretty good one. Yeah, Meg, what about you? Is there anyone who people are like, "Oh, you look like so and so"?
I get Selma Blair.
Yes.
Selma Blair, but maybe not after an 11-hour flight. And actually, the most accurate one I've ever gotten is that there's this movie called Welcome to the Dollhouse, which is like a dark comedy about this young girl who's like everybody hates, basically. And she looks really nerdy, and she looks exactly like I looked when I was younger. Like I'll put side-by-side pictures up in the podcast. I mean, to a T, that is what I looked like when I was a kid.
That movie is amazing.
It's amazing. Really that's Todd Solondz, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got one that I was very excited about recently, maybe 6 months ago. I was very excited. I was in pretty good shape, and to be fair, I had a hat on and I had it down really low. And I was sitting out at lunch, and some guy comes up and he's like, "Oh, fucking man, can I take a photo with you?" And I'm like, "Sure." And we take a photo, and he's like, "Oh man, I love a lot of your shit, but like my favorite stuff is like back in the day." I'm like, "Okay, cool." He goes, "The Departed, man. I love The Departed." And I was like, "Okay, wow, what's going on?"
Wahlberg, right? You're you thought you were Wahlberg. Right?
He thought I was Wahlberg, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm not Mark Wahlberg." And he was like, "Oh, fuck you, man, fuck you." And then he ran away.
You
and I
are
was like,
Wahlberg.
Great.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you fucking are. Yeah, you fucking are.
You can't hide from
And
me,
I told that story to Mark Wahlberg, and he looked at me like,
actually.
"What?"
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Wahlberg wasn't feeling it.
You wish, buddy. You wish, pal. You fucking wish.
Yeah. How's that even possible? We're barely even the same size. How you gotta put on more weight. You gotta put on more muscle. You don't even look like me.
He's always just always
slightly out
just
of
worked
breath.
out. Yeah, he's always just worked out.
You know, we both got on a flat brim hat. That's it. What do they even say?
That's my.
Do you think that he like drops down and does like fucking 25 push-ups before every take of something? You know what I mean? So he's like legitimately out of breath. It adds like intensity to the scene, but also like he gets a pump. You know what I mean?
Whatever he's doing, it's working. Because I'll watch that guy in anything.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Same.
Yeah, absolutely. Rob, you've got a sibling who is now a writer on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and a very good one, I have to say. It's been very refreshing and fun having her in the writer's room because she's really brilliant. But she's in this episode, and she's your sister.
She is. Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She's also a great writer on Mr. Quest as well, the other one, the other show.
Yes, Mr. Quest. Mr.
Yeah,
Quest,
Mr.
the
Quest.
famous Apple show.
Katie Mack is, she calls you an asshole or creep or something like that.
Yeah, she says she's the one who says pervert dickhead, I think, right?
Yeah.
Wait, in addition to Katie, you have another sibling, Pat. Do people stop Pat and think that it's you? Because Pat,
yes.
you and Pat look a lot alike, except that Pat keeps his hair kind of blonde mostly. But
yes, my
'Cause it
brother,
is blonde.
we have different coloring,
Keeps it
blonde hair. He's blonde hair, blue eyes, and I'm brown hair, brown eyes, and yet we do look so much alike that he gets mistaken for me all the time.
Yeah,
and he uses it because he'll use it to like say if someone's like, oh, do you want to come to the front of the line of somewhere where we almost always will say no because we don't want to be assholes that cut in front of lines. He'll just go, yeah, because us.
I say yes to that every time. Are you fucking kidding me? Somebody asks me if I want to go to the front of the line because I'm who I am. I'm like, yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Well, it's not going to work anymore at French restaurants. They're not going to let Pat in.
Yeah, it'll work. They don't watch the well, it won't work because they don't watch the show and they certainly don't listen to this podcast. French fucks.
No, they don't.
Gregory Scott Cummins is back for this, playing Mac's dad. One of my all-time favorite guest stars. He's such a marvelously funny guy, and I just love him so much. But he refers to the sexual offender as Wendell Short Eyes. Now, Rob, would you like to explain to everyone what the term short eyes means for those of you who haven't spent much time in prison?
Yes, we learned sometime around that year that short eyes was the term that inmates would refer to pedophiles or pedophiles here in the United States. They would refer to them as short eyes. And then, of course, they became victims because there is some kind of honor amongst thieves in prison where if you are a convicted child abuser, they will take care of you. Prison style. Short eyes.
That's right.
Where do they get the short eyes from, though?
You got eyes for the short people? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what the origins of that are.
Love, actually.
Oh, well done. Well done. God damn you. That's pretty. That's oh boy. Well, I could go on and on about Gregory Scott Cummins because I love him, but we should also give props to Mac's mom and Charlie's mom. Lynn Marie is so funny in this episode. The way she plays it when Danny comes in and like every time he shuts her up and she just immediately just stops talking. She's just, oh God, she's so funny.
Hey guys, short eyes is old school prison slang for a child molester that entered the public lexicon in the late 1970s when Miguel Pinheiro adapted his play Short Eyes into a movie with the same title. The movie is about a pedophile who gets tortured and ultimately killed by his fellow inmates after they find out what he's in jail for.
So it's based on a term that was used in the play, or based on the
Yes.
name of the play.
The name of the play.
lot of big theater fans in prison.
A lot of big theater fans in prison. A lot, you know, they're
you guys see that play? You see that play?
Have you ever actually read Moliere?
Yeah, but have you read it?
No, but like, yeah, read it.
Bro,
like,
I
really
got a
read-
Moliere tattoo right here. I love the French. Great playwrights.
Tartuffe? Have you read Tartuffe? It's unfucking
Tarfuni?
unbelievable. It's,
Oh my
it's,
God.
it's
You read
unbelievably
this Tarfuni?
farcical. You want to laugh? You want to laugh?
You want to laugh? Yeah, you want to
Read
laugh?
some Moliere. Read some Moliere.
Read
all
some
right,
Moliere.
trust me.
Yeah. You guys are like, what's another one?
Okay, guys. This has been a lot of fun. I truly enjoyed this.
Megan, have you seen Glenn's head? Have you seen Glenn's head for all the creeps out there? We could do a reveal for Megan.
Ooh, I haven't seen it.
Okay, well, it's yeah. So the character I'm playing in this movie is bald on top. But you'll see the fuzz because we've only done a hair and makeup test and that was on Friday. So what? I have to go through that because it doesn't. You know, people are like, oh no, I can see hair.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's kind of
Isn't that
Steve Jobby or
alarming?
something. Like, yeah.
Real.
Yeah.
So
Yep,
are you gonna get it
it's,
tanned up the top, like get some sun on
yeah.
it?
I mean, I'll shave it down to the skin. I think the plan is to shave it down to the skin, like up to like here, and have like a little bit, you know, just have it kind of a little fuzz, like maybe on top, like right here. As is often the case, to try and make it look as real as possible. But yeah, the character I'm playing is actually quite tan.
Okay.
It's better from the side, you know what I mean? It's just
He's
good.
a real actor. That's real actor stuff. What Glenn's
It's some
doing.
real actory shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
That's
Bye.
it. We've done it.
So
Bye.
we did it.
change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, fuck you and fuck her too. See you standing right now with the gun I love, and I'm like, fuck you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, fuck you and fuck her too. Say the fire was raging, I still be waiting. Now ain't that some shit? And although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. But fuck you. See you standing right now with the gun I love, and I'm like, fuck you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, fuck you and fuck her too. Say the fire was raging, I still be waiting. Now ain't that some shit? And although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. But fuck you.